says I'm like develop, in a healthy nature. And I think about troopers and how they need to be improved and how I can charge her in. Okay. So I try to occupy my time with things that are productive, like making sure that my children's lives are fulfilling and that they are being equipped with all the tools and knowledge that they need in order to go out into the world and be successful and happy and live wholesome and productive lives. And I also think about, thinking and a good Samaritan and making sure that everybody in the trooper world and all my trooper community buddies all have parts and have the information that they need to keep all their troopers running day to day without having to give money to the man. That they can just take a Craftsman tool set or anything they can get at Harbor Freight, and that they can watch some videos that I made, and that they can take this $1,200 pile of shit, keep it running, and then keep it for a few years, and it'll be worth 10 grand. So that's kind of way that I like to spend my time. Recently I've been having to spend time on other things regarding legal issues, and having to become a lawyer that I never wanted to do, although everybody told me that I probably should. My dad, that's what my dad told me. This is the irony in this whole thing that just irritates the shit out of me. All I ever heard out of my dad the whole time I was growing up is go be a lawyer. And all AJ ever heard out of his dad was, what the fuck are you doing? Going to school and planning to go to law school. So I said, nah, I don't want to be a lawyer because that's dumb shit. All you do is shuffle paperwork and waste people's time and wreck people's lives and lie to everybody. And it's just a complete waste of fucking time. And a bunch of people, I guess, have to pay you money. And just seems like shenanigans for the people who work so hard and then have to give you money for you to shuffle paperwork to wreck their lives. Just, not for me. And so I'm not really enjoying this, but I'm being forced to do it in order to protect my kids, which is stupid, right? A mother and father should both just protect their kids. But my kids are in a situation where they are being held captive against their own need, against their own, against your own will, without their dad, that everybody knows is a good influence on them, and they're being held captive by a person who's telling everybody that I'm a danger to their safety and well-being. And I don't even honestly believe you at this point that it's about money. It's not even about money. It's just about bitch slapping and just winning, I guess, is what it's about. It's about winning, winning, winning. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to take the kids from you. I'm going to whip you with the legal system. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that you're not successful and productive. I'm not going to let you sell your property. I'm not going to let you grow your business. I'm not going to let you even somehow have enough money to make your day-to-day work more comfortable, so that you can maybe have a shelter over your head or a concrete slab under you, or let's say, does any of you guys know that Justin Harvey drove 9 hours from Nashville so that I would have power because I was living without power and water? And I wasn't, and I, anyway, to try to run a business like I have, you know, without a slab and a lift and power equipment, to do what I've done. You see what I do, right? Okay, so I've been held down, sabotaged, hamstrung, everything from every which way to Sunday. And I've still forged ahead, stiff arming the tackler to get to the goal line. Now, I finally got through all the fucking legal trouble to force her to sign off on the property against every fucking tactic that she tried, all the way down to forcing a court order to require her to give it to a conservator, and then taking it off the market immediately so that it wouldn't sell, and then just conveniently not ever having it listed by a conservator or having a conservator put it for sale. So, that was kind of the last straw for me, was when I found out that she had forced the court to give her control of my property, and then she had taken it off the market so that it couldn't be sold this spring, right now, in the heyday of when real estate, the entire history of the world, when this is the most hot real estate market probably that anybody in the last 20 years has seen. And I found out that she had pulled it off the market so that I wouldn't sell it, so that I could stay hamstrung out there in that mobile home with no power, no water, trying to run a business, so that, meanwhile, trying to, beat me up over child support. Hey, why aren't you paying me money? Why aren't you paying me money? Really? Why am I paying you money? How about because you're not letting me sell my property? How about because you're hamstringing me so fucking hard that I can't even work? You know, how about your guys are all running around with brand new fucking Escalades and iPhones and new jewelry and, you know, everything that you guys are doing, and I'm slaving day to day just to try to fucking keep my head above water. Oh, by the way, and I'm so fucking dangerous that I can't even see my kids. You know, it's not even about the money, because she's got the money. She's got plenty of money. She's not even caring about the money at this point. She's just wanting to make sure that I don't become successful or happy. You know, it's just dumb. It has nothing to do with my kids. That's what's so fucking irritating and ridiculous about it, is that it's called kidnapping under color of law. If you want to put a legal name on it, it's called kidnapping under color of law. And it's the kind of shit that I don't even want to talk about what the sentences are for these types of crimes. But if you know anything about the law and the spirit of the law, you realize real quick that somebody is kidnapping children against their will, and they are using the legal system and the local sheriff and the judicial system and the local and state, federal government, whatever they can get a hold of, to perpetuate a lie and to commit kidnapping and perjury and fraud and every other kind of thievery and lie that goes along with that. So I've been very patient. At times I've maybe lost my cool and expressed a little anger, maybe in the wrong way. And 15 weeks of anger management sure taught me a lot about how that all works. And so as I am about to sell my property and move on with my future life, and I'm thinking about what I'm going to do and how that's going to go, I'm having ideas like whether I should live in Washington County, Arkansas, or whether I should move on to some other place. And I've explored a lot of other places over the last few years and have a lot of options. And career options and things like that. Do I stay running Johnny Five Troopers? Do I sell it? Do I, you know, just let it fizzle into nothingness and just fade away like a footnote on nothingness' history? Or what do I do with that? There's a lot of options there. I've thought about very seriously about if for any reason at all, and I actually am thinking I probably don't want to stay in Washington County. I just want to be able to bounce in and out and see my kids, which is going to start happening really soon. I'm thinking that if I actually had to stay in Washington County for any reason, I would probably run for sheriff. I think that I have a platform. I think that I have all of the pedigree and all of the rationale, and I could get the political momentum to run for Washington County Sheriff against the incumbent Tim Helder. Now, that probably sounds like some sort of maybe crazy, ludicrous idea when you think of it maybe at a glance, but do some research, dig around a little bit, and think it through a little bit harder, and it's not going to seem so ludicrous. And then when you dig around with shit, that information that most people don't know, it becomes very, very, very serious, a very serious consideration. Let's put it that way, a consideration. That there's nothing standing in my way, and there's no reason that I cannot run for public office in Washington County and have my shot at presenting my argument as to why I feel that I should become the sheriff of Washington County, Arkansas. Now, with that said, I would probably reach out to people like Frank Weaver, the judge of Madison County, and I'll just start there. So if you think that my concept is ludicrous, let's say that the first person that I reach out to have coffee with about this is going to be Frank Weaver, and probably the second person is going to be Greg Leading. I'll just start right there. From there, I would say that if you go all the way down the train of all the consequences or all the considerations of what could happen here, ultimately what ends up happening is I become the sheriff who enforces the protective order that my wife has between me and my children. Okay? So if you think that I'm crazy and that I'm ludicrous in the things that I do in my life, do a little bit of research on that kind of idea, concept that I never would have dreamed of had I not been forced into a legal action with my wife. Okay, and then if this concept is going to have any kind of repercussions on you, your job, your reputation, your financial state, your anything at all, if you think that me being Washington County Sheriff or even running for Washington County Sheriff or even getting publicity about running for Washington County Sheriff is going to affect your life in any kind of way, think about how that might be. Or then think about the fact that all I want to do is see my kids as a loving father, and that if that were to miraculously happen somehow, where I was just amazingly like, oh, hey, I got contacted that there's nothing standing in the way. Your daughter Lily's going to call you. Like, she has screamed out to me and requested and asked for, like,